Life with Akash channel. My name is Akash. I am a data scientist and software engineer in Kia Fusion Technologies. Okay, so we have discussed, like in that previous video, we discussed about like whatever the directories we have. So what are the things, folders we are got? You got the idea. In this video, now we'll be going to discuss like each directory structure and each things, how you will be going to train the data and how you will be going to train the loaded particular folders, directory structures basically, right? So what we'll be going to do, we'll just try to create a function basically here. Okay, so you know that how you can create a functions basically, right? So using the def keyword, okay, and function name basically. What functionality we are going to do here basically, load underscore train, right? So we are using the empty, we are not giving any input here. Okay, so we are not passing any input to this to do something somewhat else here. Okay, you got the idea that there will be a normal cases in the case of the pneumonia, right? In the case of normal cases will be also there, or pneumonia or not, right? Pneumonia or not, he may not having a pneumonia itself, right? So I'll just give you the inputs here. So inputs here, for that inputs we have to create a two variables here. Okay, create a two variables for that, for not. Okay, two variables, one is for not, one is for there, for if the pneumonia is there for that particular case. Okay, we have to access that directory. Okay, access that inputs, access their inputs. So what we are going to do, we are accessing that input data, that image data we are providing here basically, right? So what we are going to do here is basically normal cases. All right, so normal cases underscore dir directory, which is equal to, okay, the train directory which we have already declared, right? So train dir, and we are just accessing the training folder basically. Okay, training folder basically we are accessing that, so you can just get there. Okay, train dir also okay. If you see, in the train dir is already there, we are doing the mistake here. Okay, for the normal cases we are doing. So what we'll be going to do, and if you just see here what the particular thing is there actually. Okay, so if you just do this, you will get the idea. In the train, what we have a normal, right? Capital, all in capitals. So what we'll be going to do, we are writing here normal, right? So I will be not going to write once again from the scratch. Okay, we'll just try to copy paste this inputs. Okay, what normal cases directory, and another one is what, for pneumonia cases directory. Okay, pneumonia cases directory, what we'll be going to do is basically here we'll be going to change the names. Okay, new pneumonia, right? Pneumonia. So if I am wrong with the spelling, folks, try to rectify me in the comment down below, folks. Okay, I am very very weak at the spellings. Okay, so you can just get the idea, like try to interpret your ideology basically. Okay, if you have anything, I'm very sorry, you can just comment down below. I can change in the notebook as well. Okay, so in the normal, and what is particular name of folder basically, folks. Okay, so I will just, what I will be going to do, I will be just going to make a mistake. So what I will be going to do, I will just copy this folder name basically. Okay, it will be very tedious task, folks. Okay, so what I will be going to do, I will just try to write it like this. Okay, we got this particular things. Now you want to see that, okay, whether that in that directory I am getting or not actually, right? So what I will be going to do, you can just try to like print it off, folks, basically for confirmation basically, nothing apart from that. If you want to see that, you can just have to call that function. Okay, load underscore train, and this function you can just pass it off. You will get the idea. Okay, got the idea, right? In the chest x-ray, in the train we have a normal, right? If you want, you can do that. I am just commenting it out. Okay, so you got the idea. Okay, so now step number 2, this is step number 1. We have to create a 2 variable to access their input as a label. We are giving the input, right? Images we are giving. So what for the training normal cases and pneumonia for pneumonia type of cases, right? So after that we have to get the list of all images, right? So what will we are going to do? List of all images. Basically we have to get the list of all images. I am telling once again, if you try to use the glob variable, you will be getting the address, folks. You will be not getting the clear what are the things is there. You will be not getting. I will just show you how the things is going to take place here. Okay, so what I will be going to do, I will just write it normal cases here. I will take one variable to get the list of all this particular directories, normal cases, which is equal to normal cases dir. Okay, normal cases dir dot glob, and here we are just writing it off like asterisk is nothing but all the particular files with the extension jpeg. Okay, jpg or jpeg. Okay, both are the things will be going to work it off. Okay, so for pneumonia type of cases, I will just write it like this: pneumonia cases, which is equal to pneumonia cases dir dot glob and all the files with the extension jpeg, right? Pneumonia cases we are accessing. Okay, so this is over right now. So if you want to go into print off anything else here, right? So normal cases, you can just write it like this. Okay, so you can just get, I have told you earlier basically, folks. Okay, whatever things will be going to do is you will be getting the path dot glob with the address, particularly hex code you will be getting, address in general you will be getting basically. Okay, in the next things what will be going to do is, you got the idea what is the things is about basically. So basically to understand, to explain you these things, only I am just commenting it down. Okay, so you will just get the idea. If I just share this particular notebook as well, you will get the understanding about it. So we'll be going to create a 2 empty list. Okay, one for training, another one is for the label. Okay, whatever the images we are getting, right, images are there with the labels we will be going to get. This is a new normal type of x-ray, this is a pneumonia type of x-ray, so that you will understand it in greater parts. Okay, so what we are doing here basically, here we are creating the empty list. Basically we are creating an empty list. Okay, I am telling you clearly, folks. Okay, if you are not learned, if you don't have an idea of a basic Python, then this whatever I am explaining, it will be going out of your head and you will be not able to understand single concept also. Okay, so you should have at least basic idea of Python. Okay, or any programming language, if you have a basic idea, so that you will be not going to out of your head. Okay, so come back to this particular part. We have to create an empty list here, and by naming I am just writing here train underscore data. Okay, here train data, and here I am just writing here train underscore label. While training we have to give the labels as well. So while getting that input also, it will be not a problem for us, right? So training data and training label, we have to create an empty list. Okay, so this is about that. Okay, then what we have to do, we have to iterate that, right? So we have created the train data and train label. For each images we have to iterate that. So how we can do that? For img, for iterating any variable you can take it. So for in general, to take an example to make you understand how taking the iterating variable as img, IMG in which particular cases, which kind of a cases? I am going through normal cases, right? So normal cases I am looking at it, right? So what I am going to do, train data, right? Train data I am just looking at it. So what I will be going to add, append is nothing but add to this particular list, train data, append. I'll just try to use the append function with this iterating variable called img. Whatever with the iterating variable, I'm just sending it out. Okay, and another thing is, I want associated with the adding that image, I wanted to that on the image the label has to be also sent to that particular list, right? So what I am going to do, training data dot what, training data is over, right? This label, another label for label list, I have to send for the label list, right? Append of what I want to send, I want to send that this is particular string called as normal. Okay, this type of cases is normal, right? So another thing is, what I am going to do, I will just try to write it for pneumonia type of cases. For IMG pneumonia, okay, pneumonia underscore cases, I am accessing that. Okay, I'll just copy it down, folks. I don't want to write this again and again, the same thing. So IMG is the same, and here we want the pneumonia, right? Pneumonia has to be get that. So I'll just write it here. Okay, pneumonia. Okay, all right. Okay, these two things is over. We have done this, we have iterated that again and again. Next thing is, what we have to do is, we have to take one data frame. Okay, what I will be calling df, data frame. So I will just write it here, data frame, pd dot data frame, we have not imported pandas, I guess, right? Pandas, import pandas, no, so that's why we are not getting it at all. Okay, so what we'll be going to do is, we'll just try to write it pandas as pd. If you standard convention is basically, folks, like try to write it every library here itself. Okay, I have just researched this particular project basically, so that's why I know that, right? Whatever the things is going to take place here. Okay, so data frame, in that data frame, what I want basically is a train data basically. Okay, train data to be sent as a data frame, convert into the data frame basically. It is on the list basically, right? So I want to do that. Okay, now what I am going to do is df dot columns, which is equal to images. I wanted images to be labeled. Okay, so now the labels will go to, labels will assigned, I wanted the labels which is equal to train underscore label, right? Then d data frame, which is equal to df dot sample, okay, with the fraction of 1 frac, which is equal to 1, like one kind of a one sample I wanted actually. Okay, so nothing apart from that. Dot reset index, okay, drop equal to true. So whatever the index is, by default it will be going to take. I wanted to remove that. Okay, by default you should not take it. Okay, I want to return this data frame, so what I'll be going to do is return df. Okay, we'll just try to check that how what things is this we are getting an error or not. We'll just try to check that. Okay, it is successfully run. Okay, we'll just try to call that function. We'll just try to see that. Okay, see here, now we are able to get this. You got the idea, right? See here, like our main idea is like to display the images here basically in terms of a data frame basically, right? So nothing apart from this here basically. See here, so we are getting this particular things here actually, right? See here, right? So how many number of rows and how many number of columns are there, right? So what will be going to do, train underscore data, train data. Okay, so what we'll be going to do is we'll just try to take one variable called train underscore data, which is equal to load train, and we'll just try to check what is the shape of this particular data actually. Train dot shape, not train dot shape, it is a train data, I guess. Okay, how many number of things, how many number of rows is there, and how many number of columns are there? Obviously number of columns will be 2, right? Images and the things will be there, images and the labels is two columns. And how many number of records are there? 5216, right? You got the idea, like how we are doing here, right? How we are able to do this, right? How we are able to train, we are able to load the train. So we are structuring our analysis, okay, so that you will get the idea basically. We are creating a functions so that whenever we want to call that particular directory as well, normal kind of a cases we want to retrieve it back, so that also we can do it. Okay, the last we'll just try to train our training data has 5216 images. So now let's see with the distribution of the labels. Okay, so last visualization I will just show you, and we'll just find out this particular that's it about like video. Okay, so we'll just try to make it in the next video itself, folks. Okay, it is about the visualization. I will just make a separate video on that. Okay, in this video we have discussed about how you can load the data and all. Okay, continuation part. In the next video we are going to discuss about the visualization part.